नमस्कार, बायोटेक्निका के TS3 द शेखर सुमन शो में आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है। वेलकम टू बायोटेक्निका's TS3 show, where we talk about news, views and reviews about the biosciences industry, about the research industry. And today, I'm going to talk about Shubhadeep Roy. Shubhadeep Roy was a SRF at IISER, Kolkata. News broke somewhere in the first week of April that he was found dead in his laboratory. He was a physics fellow from CSIR, and his suicide under mysterious circumstances. I think I should be covering that news, and I would like to bring that into the light today. So the Department of Physical Sciences in IISER Kolkata has this course called as Integrated PhD, where he was a student, and he was actively involved in a lot of activities such as setting up of the quantum computing lab, quantum research lab. He had published several papers, and he was a very active person. So what really went wrong that such a learned person just one day wants to switch off his life? Why exactly this happened? Just think. A scientist, he would have become a great scientist probably. He joined CSIR SRF as a SRF in this particular institution. But what killed him? Was it stress? Was it not on-time fellowship? Was it the PhD guide who was torturing him, harassing him? Was it some kind of institutional politics? Whatever it may be. Our country lost one soul, one scientist who would have changed lives of so many people, right? Doctors, scientists, these are the people who make our country great. So why exactly Mr. Shubhadeep Roy decided to end his life? Well, the mystery remains, but I want to highlight a few pointers which I think should be brought to the attention of everybody. And that is the situation of our research fellows in these labs. CSIR is a funding agency, but they have to live and they have to work in those labs. So the right kind of infrastructure, the right kind of environment must be given. If that's not given, these fellows who are very sensitive people succumb to it. If our country has to grow, then scientists and future scientists, future doctors like Shubhadeep, future scientists like Shubhadeep must be given the right kind of environment and atmosphere. You can't just deal with them the way we deal with a cattle. In fact, even the cattle is dealt with much more respect. Today's researcher in India is pushed towards more of quantity than quality. Today's researcher is underpaid and yet being expected that they'll work 18 hours a day to achieve their desired PhD thesis. Their upgrade from a JRF to SRF is also subjective, and it is evaluated now. When everything is under so much of scrutiny, why this is not under scrutiny? The labs where they are working. There was a news a few, I think months ago, where IISc banned fans in the hostels because they wanted to avoid suicides. Now tell me, government should stop manufacturing chemicals because somebody will intoxicate them? That's not the solution, right? We should not fly, we should stop all the airlines and ban them because there are terrorist attacks through planes? No, right? So, do you think banning the fan will help, or creating an atmosphere for all our students, research fellows, researchers is needed there? If we can't at least let's have a body where they can complain, where their complaint will be heard. and there would be something which will work. There should be a student body or a management body in these institutions. Where are those? I think 5 years ago there was an accident in the Indian Institute of Science, and 2 people died. I think they were in the chemistry lab. Who is asking questions? If the researchers of tomorrow are not asking questions, then remember, we are not going the science way. We are going probably a very, we're living in a Hitleristic society where we don't have rights to ask questions. If Newton was not able to ask questions, do you think we would ever have gravity? No, right? So we should allow our research fellows to ask questions, and at the same time, we should be tolerating their situation. We should not tolerating is the wrong word. I should say we should be very kind to them. They're doing great work in the lab. So here is what I think about this suicide in IISER Kolkata. I think it's time for a lot of introspection for the student body as well as the management of IISER Kolkata, especially the project guides and the investigators who handle students on day in day out there, and in fact everywhere. And I think CSIR should investigate this matter, and they should probably have a grievance mechanism. So the moment I say grievance mechanism, it recalls me the tweets which come repeatedly from CSIR nowadays, where they say, any grievance, please go to the grievance portal and lodge a query. I mean, do you even solve those grievances? If we lodge a grievance today, it will be resolved after, I think, 2 months. That's a state of matter at CSIR. So I think there's a lot of change which is required. And as a fellow citizen, as a fellow researcher who has spent his lifetime in biosciences, I think I should point these fingers, because unless we point fingers, we will not get answers. So yes, that's something which I wanted to talk today. Rest in peace, Mr. Roy. We lost a gem. Now coming to the other side of today's TS3, which is again related to PhD. Nowadays, in fact, there's this news which came a few days ago, where it says that India is the 3rd highest science paper research papers publishing country after US and China. Now that's something which should make us happy. But you know what makes me unhappy is the quality of research. We want to win means we have to have the quality of research. Okay, let me tell you, you're watching this video because of the quality of the video, right? The quality of audio, the quality of the content which I'm talking. You're not watching this video just because I uploaded, correct? You probably like me, so you're watching my video. That's what is happening in today's research world. The universities, the governing body is giving them, UGC probably is giving them a target, and these guys are going after that target, pushing the researchers to publish papers. Right? You're publishing papers, but where's the quality? If there's no quality, what's the point? Right? Even if there are hundreds of mobile phone companies, do you think anybody can replace Apple? Because the quality of research they did in touchscreen interface, right? They were the pioneers. So here it is. If India has to grow, then you as a researcher should focus on the quality of research. Just don't bother about the targets which the university is giving. And if they're really torturing you about that, let me know in the comment section. We'll take them on. Okay? We'll talk to that university directly. But please, your quality of the research matter, because that's what is your identity. See, today, if I say, okay, this is TS3, so it's the content which matters, right? The quality. The same way, if you are doing research, that research is going to be your identity. So just don't succumb to these numbers and targets which your university might give. Instead, focus on the quality of research which you're doing in your PhD, because later on, once you're out of that academia, you're in the industry, your quality of research matters and not the quantity. So that's something which I wanted to highlight. So the first point I highlighted about the precarious situation of our researchers in these labs. No biosafety, no safety at all, no safety gears at all, no supervisory control at all. You know, even when a child is born, there will be 2 to 3 doctors who will go in just to make sure that someone is checking the heartbeat, somebody is checking the, other things, other parameters. But what's happening when a researcher goes in the lab? He's on his own, nobody is checking the safety. There's no body who will check the biosafety, right? So that's the first point which I made. The second point which I made is the quantity versus quality. Now coming to the third part, which is my favorite part. So we get a lot of questions from our users on Biotechnica, and we got a question recently. Let me just pull that out. Alright, so we have a very interesting question from Mr. Masroor Khalil, and he belongs to Pakistan, और इनका सवाल हिंदी में है. सर, आई एम फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान. आप ये बताएं कि इंडिया में भी कोई इतना स्कोप नहीं है बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का. तो मसरूर, पहली बात, हेलो फ्रॉम इंडिया. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वाचिंग आवर वीडियोस. 4 दिन पहले आपने कमेंट किया था, और इसका जवाब ये है कि स्कोप आपके दिमाग में होता है, फील्ड में नहीं होता है. मैंने कितने सिविल इंजीनियर और मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर्स को मिला हूँ मैं, और सभी बोलते हैं स्कोप नहीं है. स्कोप आपको बनाना पड़ता है. आपको अपना रास्ता खुद चुनना पड़ता है, खुद बनाना पड़ता है. कोई बना के नहीं देगा. जहाँ भी आपको रास्ता बनाया मिलता है, वो आसान रास्ता है, उसमें अचीवमेंट नहीं है. तो बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का स्कोप बहुत है इंडिया में, और वर्ल्ड में भी है. और बायोटेक्नोलॉजी तो इंडिया में बहुत बढ़ रही है. शायद पाकिस्तान में का तो मुझे ख्याल नहीं, मुझे आइडिया नहीं है, बट इंडिया में बहुत बढ़ रही है और आगे बढ़ेगी. तो स्कोप तो है. थैंक यू सो मच. आई होप यू गॉट योर आंसर. चलिए, तो अगला सवाल जो मेरे पास इस वक्त आया है वो है मिस्टर साग्निक पटनायक का, और वो मुझसे पूछते हैं कि बायोटेक्निका की जो कोचिंग है उसकी नो डाउट क्वालिटी बहुत ही अच्छी है, कंटेंट है वो भी बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन इतना महंगा क्यों है? साग्निक, आपने बहुत ही सही क्वेश्चन पूछा है, और आई थिंक मुझे इसका आंसर देना चाहिए कि क्यों बायोटेक्निका की प्राइसेस हाई होती है. तो पहली चीज़, प्राइस पे मैं जाऊँ उसके पहले मैं बता दूँ कि बायोटेक्निका के अंदर बहुत सारी स्कॉलरशिप्स है. अगर आप अप्रोच करोगे तो डेफिनेटली आपको वो स्कॉलरशिप प्रोवाइड की जाएगी, जिसमें आपकी प्राइस जो है कोर्स की वो कम हो जाती है. इट गोज़ अप टू 90% स्कॉलरशिप भी हम प्रोवाइड करते हैं इकोनॉमिकली वीक स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, या जो बच्चे कोविड में इम्पैक्टेड हैं, तो उनके लिए हम डिस्काउंट्स और स्कॉलरशिप्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं, जहाँ पर कि मैं अपने पर्सनल पॉकेट से उनकी फ़ीस भरता हूँ. तो बायोटेक्निका नहीं, मैं पर्सनली उनकी फ़ीस भरता हूँ बायोटेक्निका में, और 10% उनको भरना पड़ता है. सो अप टू 90% हम स्कॉलरशिप प्रोवाइड करते हैं. तो ये क्वेश्चन मैंने आपको, अब दूसरा जो आपका पार्ट है कि कंटेंट अच्छा है तो प्राइसेस हाई है. अब ऐसे सोचिए कि अगर हमें कंटेंट को बहुत ही अच्छा रखना है तो हमें बहुत ही लर्नेड और पढ़े लिखे टीचर्स को हायर करना है, जिनके पास बहुत एक्सपीरियंस है. मोस्ट ऑफ द टीचर जो बायोटेक्निका के अंदर है वो पिछले 10 साल 15 साल से हमारे यहाँ काम कर रहे हैं, और काफ़ी उनके पास एक्सपीरियंस है, और सब PhDs हैं. तो इस वजह से जो उनकी जो एक्सपर्टीज़ है बहुत हाई है. तो हाई एक्सपर्टीज़ ऑलवेज कम्स एट ए कॉस्ट. ठीक है. अब आते हैं दूसरी चीज़. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि बायोटेक्निका अपने स्टूडेंट्स को बहुत ही हाई कॉस्ट प्रोवाइड करती है. हमारे पास स्कॉलरशिप्स अवेलेबल है, जिसका इस्तेमाल करके हम आपको काफ़ी ज़्यादा स्कॉलरशिप्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं. तो आई होप दिस आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन साग्निक. अब अगली चीज़, एक और क्वेश्चन आई है. जो बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो इंटर्नशिप करना चाहते हैं क्रिस्पर की, और प्राइस को लेकर चिंतित हैं. आपको चिंता करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. जैसे कि एक क्वेश्चन है इस वक्त श्रीनिवास की कि आई वांट टू डू दिस इंटर्नशिप, हाउ कैन आई रीच यू? तो यू कैन जस्ट डायल आवर टोल फ्री नंबर 1-800-1200-1818, या फिर आप डायरेक्टली कमेंट सेक्शन में कमेंट कर सकते हैं. हमारे ईमेल पे info@biotechnica.org पे कॉन्टैक्ट कर सकते हैं. और लास्ट चीज़ मैं जो इस टॉक में कहना चाहूँगा कि एक और कमेंट आई थी सत्यराज का कि स्पीक अ लिटिल इंग्लिश व्हाट व्हेन यू स्पीक हिंदी. सत्यराज, आई एम वर्किंग ऑन दिस. थोड़ा बहुत मिस कर जाता हूँ. आई विल रियली ट्राई टू हैव एवरी वीडियो इन इंग्लिश एज वेल एज हिंदी, so that you can always switch in between the languages in YouTube directly on in the same video. So we are working closely with YouTube also on this. But as of now that is taking some time, but definitely you will see in the future the video will be in Hindi separately and English separately. There will be two different chapters you can switch always. So I hope that answers your concern, Satyaraj. Thank you so much for asking that question. So with this we come to an end of the Shekhar Suman show. और बहुत ही मज़ा आया आपसे इंटरेक्ट करके. मैंने 2 से 3 पॉइंटर आपको बताया जो कि हमारे भारत में हो रही है रिसर्च को लेकर, जिस पर हमें काम करना है और आवाज़ उठानी पड़ेगी. और इसके लिए आई रिक्वेस्ट यू कि प्लीज़ इस वीडियो को, इस शो के लिंक को आप जितने लोगों तक पहुंचाएंगे उतना अच्छा है, क्योंकि तभी फ्यूचर का शुभादीप को सुसाइड नहीं करना पड़ेगा, वो शान से किसी लैब में साइंटिस्ट बन के घूमेगा। और ये सिर्फ उनके साथ नहीं, किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है। वी हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट आवर रिसर्चर्स आर टेकन केयर ऑफ, एंड डेफिनेटली आई वुड लाइक टू रीइटरेट अगेन हियर, जो फेलोशिप है वो बढ़नी चाहिए। 75,000 फॉर SRF एंड आई थिंक 65,000 फॉर JRF होनी चाहिए, बिकॉज अब पेट्रोल डीजल से लेकर सब्जियां तक सब कुछ महंगी हो गई हैं। सो इट्स टाइम, हाई टाइम दैट CSIR increases the fellowship amount for all the CSIR, SRF and JRF. So with these thoughts, I would like to end this show. Thank you so much, और मिलते हैं अगले हफ्ते। कुछ और नया लेके आऊँगा आपके लिए, तब तक देखते रहिए TS3।